Hi everyone, welcome to StunnerShare. So it's been a month. I was held up because of Ramadan month, and right now I thought like, okay, let me make the video. But where to start? That will be the question. First of all, what I decided is that let me like from March till date. Okay, so let me see how the CPR Camarilla has performed over from March 1st till date and see whether it has respected the levels or whether it has respected so-called Camarilla layers or the CPR layers. I'll try to make this video a bit lengthier, but based on the length, say for example, if this video is going for 30 minutes, then what I would decide is that for first 10 minutes I will try to make it as part 1, the next 10 minutes I'll make it as part 2, like that I'll try to separate it. Okay, so mostly what I am trying to cover is that on a 15 minutes time frame on a daily chart with respect to Camarilla, how it has performed, whether it has respected all those layers or not. So I will give a brief about what is Camarilla, what are the expected levels in Camarilla and all those. And second will be like I'll cover using this CPR, and then third I'll try to do for golden pivot zone and double pivot zone, and then later if at all everything permits, like the time permits, I have been backtesting the videos. Okay, I have been I've been uploading the backtest videos based on particular setup, and that is also put on hold, and I will cover that particular strategy in this 15 minutes and let's see whether it has performed or not. So this is going to be a completely a backtesting video sort of. So we are going to start from March 1st, but March 2nd was a shorter day. I'm not exactly sure why it has been a shorter day. So what I will do is like I will start it from March 5th because March 4th will be based on this particular day. So let's not confuse it. Okay, now let me go to March 5th, and from March 5th till April 23rd today. So till that time I'll try to do it first with respect to Camarilla. So first of all, with respect to Camarilla, as we are going, we need to activate the layers which is called as H3, H4, H5, L3, L4, L5. So what is H3? H3 and L3 are called as reversal layers. So basically whenever the candle touches H3, it will be reversing. Whenever the candle touches the L3, it will be reversing. So that is what is expected. H4 and L4 are called as the breakout and breakdown layers. So from H4, the expected level, from H4 the expected level is to go towards H5, and from L4 the expected level is go towards the L5. Okay, so this is what basically the understanding between Camarilla layers. And apart from that, so there are some relationships, 2-day relationships, etc., etc. So say for example, when we are considering March 4th and March 5th, the layer is called as the overlapping lower value relationship. So that means any pullback towards the H3 is going to be a selling opportunity, and same way we will cover the other scenarios as well. So on this March 5th, if you could see over here, candles initially opened between H3 and L3 but closed below the L3. That says that, and as the overlapping lower value relationship is there, it is expected that the market might go downside. Okay, but how far it can go? The expected levels as per the Camarilla can be H5, but it is better we go with 1:1. So say for example, we can enter below this candle. Okay, but our stop loss cannot be this candle. Why? Because the overall height of this candle is going to be 135 points. So if we might check for a stop loss at this point. So here it is 473 and the low is 435, which is almost 40 points. Whenever you are going for an intraday move, please make a note of it that it is better you don't go beyond 40 points as stop loss, because covering up 40 points itself might take time, and which instrument you are going to take, that also plays a major role. Say for example, now if you are taking an entry at this point and the stop loss at this point, so your expected level is it should go towards 22,390 zone. So did it go or not? Yes, it has gone towards 22,390 zone at this level itself. Okay, and furthermore also it has gone, but still we are happy with that. And then if you are still you wanted to go for any trade, then what is that you are expected is that any pullback towards L4 can be a selling opportunity. But if you see, once it came towards L4, it gave a good break above the L4 and L3. So you need to wait for this particular setup. Now any pullback towards the H3 can be a selling opportunity, but this candle itself a vast candle which is almost covering 35, 15, 50, 52 points at this point, so it is better to avoid. The next day what we are seeing is nothing but the another lower value relationship, overlapping lower value relationship. So what is that expected is that if there is a support at L3, any pullback towards the H3 can be a selling opportunity, but it did not go towards this H3 but started reversing over here. Now any break below the L4 can be a selling opportunity. We got a break below the L4, but there was not a proper close and we did not get a proper setup as well, and ultimately we will not be able to go for any trade at this point. But there will be a question that, but here this is also a setup where if you see there is a no close below the L4, but you have taken entry here. Why is that you are telling an entry over here? Because see, first point is that this is an high and an open are same, so that shows that the bearish nature is there, and it has actually closed below the L3. So any pullback towards L3 or L4 can be a selling opportunity, and this candle I see as a reversal candle or a pullback to get a reversal candle. So this candle formed a reversal, which is a doji reversal setup, and from there I'm initiating a trade over here. But here I did not see any proper setup for going for downside, so that is why I held on to, I did not take any trade at this point. Now what is that happening is that now again if you see the candles are taking and closed above the L3, and now any support at the L3 can be a buying opportunity towards this zone. Clear? Now you need to wait for a proper setup as per the textbook patterns. Either you have to wait for weekly reversal setup or extreme reversal setup or doji reversal setup, but none of it has happened. So it is better you can avoid this trade, or if you still wanted to take a trade, you should have gone a trade above this high point. 22,400 should be your entry and 22,365 should be your stop loss. So according to me, only one setup happened, and that one setup gave me 1:1. Clear? And now next day what has happened on March 7th is again a overlapping. Wait, it's not overlapping. It's even this is H3 and L3 is above the H3, so this is not an overlapping higher value, it is a higher value relationship. So what is, there will be one question like what is overlapping and what is higher value? Okay, overlapping and not overlapping. So this is H3, this is L3 for yesterday. If today's L3 and H3 is like this, okay, if it is lying between, or like any of one of the layer is lying between these two previous layers, that is called as overlapping lower value. If say for example, if there is an H3 and L3 like this, and H3 and L3 for next day is like this, it is not even between that, it both are separate. So these two zones are called as lower value zones. Clear? So now let me go further. Let me go into this trade. This trade is called as the higher value relationship. Now what is expected is that any pullback towards the L3 is going to be a buying opportunity. Clear? So that is what has been told, but there is no pullback towards the L3. So this day we were not able to make any trade out of it. So on March 7th there is no trade. On March 5th you have got one trade, and March 6th there is no trade. Now coming back to this zone, if you see this particular zone, this is called as the inside Camarilla zone. H3 and L3 is lying between the previous day H3 and L3. So this particular zone is called as the inside Camarilla zone. So what is expected to happen on the inside Camarilla zone? So I have already uploaded a lot of videos on how to trade the inside Camarilla stocks. So you can make use of that video, or I have uploaded the book content. You can make use of that as well. Or if you wanted to know about what is the performance of the inside Camarilla, I have uploaded backtesting videos for many years. You can go into those and check whether it has worked perfectly or not, or what is the benefit out of it. Clear? Now as per the Camarilla setup, if you see, this is the high of the previous day and this is the low of the previous day, and any break above the high can be a trending day, or any break below the low can be a trending day. So far as if you see, this is the low, and that low is getting broken, and that is the low where L3 is also there. So market clearly gave a break below this particular point. So what can be expected is that, So if there is a continuation, it can go further down. We will not be able to make sure how much it can go. So if you are taken an entry at this point, keeping the stop entry at 22,507 and stop loss at 22,540 with 33 point stop loss, which is okay for to go for intraday move, you would have easily got a good move towards this point of 22,392, which is almost 120 points or 115 points it has actually moved on a particular single day. So on a second day, like 2 trades, I would say 2 trades are worked fine, and that is the result we are actually seeing over here. Clear? And there will be a question that you have told that L3 can be a support nature and L4 can be a breakdown nature, but you are telling that you can go below this point itself and you are not waiting for going below L4. So it is up to the experience on how you make, because basically Camarilla layers we have to respect, but if it is an inside value Camarilla relationship, you need to be mainly focusing on the previous day high and previous day low, and there here if you see it, here it is a previous day low. At that point these 2 zones are there, which is also called as double pivot zone. So to me, 2 resistance, 2 support layer which has been broken convincingly by this candle, I would prefer going short, and that is what has happened over here. Now let me go to March 12. This is on March 12 we are in 2 trades were successful, and this is a lower value relationship. So any pullback towards the H3 can be a selling opportunity, but if you see this particular candle actually closed above the H3. Clear? Now we need to wait and watch how this H4 layer is expected. Accordingly we will be able to make a trade. As I said, at this particular zone, as I said, at this particular zone where it can face some resistance at H4, L4 and then come down. Here what has happened is that it has faced resistance at the H4 and then started coming down. So whenever there is a lower value relationship if you are seeing, or a higher value relationship you are seeing, just make a note of this point. Whenever there is a lower value relationship, it is a bearish scenario. So any pullback towards the resistance zone can be a selling opportunity. So we are taught that H3 is a reversal layer. So we will be waiting for an opportunity to face some rejection at H3 and then come down. But the possibility of facing resistance at H4 is also there. Unless and until H4 gives a clear breakout, it is always a resistance layer. So we can always face some resistance at that point. So this point can be an ideal scenario for any long opportunity. This also looks like a bearish wick reversal setup, and if you see the high to low difference is just 16 points, where the risk is very less. In this case, if you are going for a risk reward ratio, that would have given a good move. If you have taken an entry below 22,521 and in 2 candles it has actually moved 150 points. So having a 16 rupees as stop loss and getting a 150 points is a real trade. So this is how you need to actually take a trade, and this is how you need to wait for any opportunity. Clear? And again, after it came down, it again reversed over here, and here we also see another opportunity over here, which is also a doji reversal setup, and the high to low difference is around 34 points. Okay, wait, 4, 6, 65, 26. Okay, 26 points. Okay, so here 26 points as stop loss we have seen. So this is also an ideal scenario where you can go for a trade. Okay, and you need to be very cautious on how it is going to go towards the L3. Though you are going to follow H3 and L3 as Camarilla layers, though you are going to mostly focus on the indicators, but price action also plays a major role. Why am I saying price action? No, because if you see at this point, market took support at this point, because the next day it started opening gap up and then started moving upside, and the second time also market came this much, like 150 points fall was there, but again started taking support at this point. So if you are going to take a trade at this point, then you have to be ready that market might not go below this point. So your target, or you have to go with 1:1 and then starting to trail your stop loss. So make sure that just I'm going to blindly follow Camarilla, it will not give you any indicator, not only Camarilla or CPR or moving average or RSI, any indicator, whichever you are going to follow, you have to be very sure that we have to follow the price action mode also. So say for example, if you have taken an entry below 459, so your expected move is around 26 points, which will be around 39 and 33. 433 would be our, and we have easily got 1:1. Okay, but this is we have got 1:1, so it is up to you how we are going to trail the stop loss. Clear? So accordingly trade your stop loss and see what is going to happen. Clear? And then now we are going for the next day. Here again this is called as the overlapping higher value relationship. So any pullback towards the H3 is going to be a selling opportunity. Any support at the L3 is going to be the buying opportunity. So always wait for any proper reversal setups which has been discussed in the what's so called the book, that will be giving you a good opportunity. So if you see over here, if you see this is sort of a extreme reversal setup. Okay, small candles and a big reversal candle, and at that point you have to get an opposite color candle, so go upside. So it has faced some rejection of the H3 and it came towards the L3. So I would have preferred an entry above this high, but luckily it did not go above this high and then started moving down. And again, now what I would say is, like, I clearly told that you have to wait and see for the price action. So here it has taken support and here it has taken support. So everyone will expect to take some support at this zone. Okay, but here thankfully we have not got any reversal setup like wick reversal setup or a doji reversal setup. But what has happened is like good consolidation of candles at the support, and then this candle gave a breakdown. Okay, when this candle gave a breakdown, and that should be the point where you have to go for a short entry. So again, if you are going for a short below this point, 376 below, you have to take, and your stop loss is going to be 22,417, which is almost near 24 plus 17, 41 points as stop loss, and it has given a good move downside. Okay, and there will be one question that is it possible to see a good move like this downside all times? We will not be able to confidently say on that. But what I would personally say is that you have to wait for the previous day action on what has happened. If you see the previous day action, the previous day actually it consolidated within this range. Okay, it did not even touch the L3. And if you also see the previous to previous day also, it actually moved from here to here. That was not a good move at all. And previous to previous day also, that is also another consolidation which has happened. And what to notice on those all consolidations is that, let me see that you have to wait and watch for the price action as well, which I am repeating again and again. And this is the high. Sorry guys. This is the high and higher low. Okay, this is the low. This is the higher low initially. This is lower high. Clear? And this is still, this low is not getting broken. And again a lower high. And this time this low is getting broken. And after that what happened is that lower high, lower low, lower high, and now a very big lower low. So market gave you hint on every occasion. But how we are going to follow, that actually plays a major role. Now this particular zone, it was looking like a support zone, but when ultimately this candle broke out, and that is where actual bleeding starts to happen. Or if anyone who wants to wait patiently and see, first of all, this is the low, this is broken, we have taken a trade, and now we have to wait for this low to broke, this low to break, and based on that you will be able to take a trade. And actually this low also got broken, engulfing the L3 and the previous day low. That says this is a double pivot zone, and after that break it has actually come down drastically. Clear? So maybe there will be one concerns or questions that all these trades you are explaining once after the market has been completed. I completely agree on whatever thoughts you are trying to say over here, but the fact is that this is the same logic you have to follow on each and every trade. So no change in that logic. You can apply these setups on whatever market you feel and see what has happened. So till now we are all good on the number of trades and number of results whatever we have seen. And now this is a lower value relationship. Any pullback towards the L3 can be a support opportunity. Any pullback or reversal at the H3 can be a selling opportunity. But did the market give you a selling opportunity? No. This candle engulfed the H3 and then started moving up. So we will not have any proper setup at this particular zone. Even this candle formed a doji reversal setup, but there is no follow through, and then ultimately it came down. Now again, now we are going to see a overlapping higher value relationship. So any support at the L3 can be a buying opportunity. Any rejection at the H3 can be a selling opportunity. But the candle actually took support. This is a weak reversal setup, but there is no entry above this candle. And after that, this particular candle engulfed the L4 and engulfed the L4 one single candle, and the expected is that it can go towards L5. But can we take a trade at this zone? That is the question. We have to check the stop loss. So if you see the low of this candle is 22.84 and high of the candle is 22.192. On an intraday trade, will you be able to go for an entry which has a stop loss of 108 points? I would personally avoid those trades, and that is what has clearly happened. So it is recommended to avoid these kind of trades. And next day it has formed a overlapping lower value relationship, and again any support at the L3 can be a buying opportunity, any rejection at the H3 can be a selling opportunity. Here we got a doji reversal setup. Here I would have gone long, but unfortunately what has happened is like this high is not broken, and after that it actually came over here. And if you see over here, these are small candles, but this candle is a big candle. If these two candles combined and formed an extreme candle, then I would have shorted below this candle, which is called as the extreme reversal candle. But unfortunately that also did not happen. And after that the market slowly rejected, and here it actually formed a reversal setup. But as this close has happened about H3, I would have avoided this trade as well. So till now no trades on these two particular days. And again the next day it is the outside value relationship, when the previous day H3 and previous day L3 is inside the current day's H3 and L3, that is called as outside value relationship. So basically when there is an outside value relationship, the expected move is going to be a range bound move. So that is one thing which you have to focus. But what has actually happened? If you see over here, market was trying to take support at this zone. Okay, yesterday market came over here, took support, market came over here, took support. So if this support zone is getting broken, which is also a support zone previous day also, then the possibility of moving downwards is highly there. And this particular candle engulfed L3 and L4 plus previous day low and then started moving down. But will we be able to take a trade based on the stop loss? That actually questions you. So if you see 22,007 is the entry and 22,094 is your stop loss, 87 point stop loss, will you be able to take a trade? I would personally avoid that trade. I will not take a trade. So but if say for example, if this candle I waited, I did not take a trade because the stop loss is high, and the next candle actually formed a reversal candle, it should have gone upside, and if it has faced resistance at this point, then I would have still taken a trade, but that did not happen. And after that this low is getting broken, and I would have kept this higher stop loss for an entry, which is 49 points as stop loss, which is also slightly risky, but comparing to 87 it is bit okay to go for a trade. And ultimately it should have given a move towards 21,950, and it has easily gone towards 21,890 itself. But you also need to have a matter of fact is that whenever you go for any trade, just watch what has happened for 2 to 3 days. Say for example, this is a brutal fall which you have seen, and it has taken support over here, and later it went for a pullback and then started coming here, and at the same place it is started to take some support. So if in case this support zone which has been respected for 3 days, if it is going to get broken, then the possible move of downside is still over there. So you need to, whenever you wanted to go for any trade, just to see on what is happening on the previous days, so that will help you to make a decision at these points. Clear? Now let us go to the next day where it is also forming a lower value relationship. Any pullback towards the L3 can be a buying opportunity. Any rejection at the H3 can be a selling opportunity. So if you see the first here, second candle itself formed a doji reversal setup, and the overall high to low move is around 63 and 11, 52 points. So it is better, we can avoid. It is better you see any trade which is almost 40 to 45 points of stop loss. That will be really helpful for any trade. Now if you still go down, here is also an outside reversal setup, and here the difference between the high to low is around 80 points. So it is better to avoid any trade over here. Clear? Now let's me go to other side. This is an overlapping higher value relationship. Actually the candle opened above H3, above H4 and below the H5. So this is overall a bullish opportunity. So how to take a trade at this point? It is better you wait for any trade or any candle to come towards H4 or H3 and then decide a trade on this particular setup. Okay, otherwise it is better to stay away and watch on what is going to happen. So it came towards H4, but no proper setup has happened, so we are avoiding this particular day. Now when we are going to March 22, this is a higher value relationship, but the candle opened gap down and below L3, below L4 and closed below L5. So here what is that you have to expect? It is better you wait for the setup to happen rather than you go for any trade, because if you feel that this candle is good enough for going for any long trade which is having a stop loss of around 110 points, it is obviously not a good setup to go for any long trade or short trade. It is better to avoid in these trades. But if you are religiously following the Secret of Pivot Boss book, then this particular setup is called as the extreme reversal setup. 3-4 candles which is of very small candles. The next candle is a very big candle compared to the size of this, and after that the next candle should form a reversal candle which should have been a opposite color. So this candle which is actually formed the extreme reversal setup. If you wanted to take any risk, you could have gone above this high of this candle and this low as the stop loss. But again, what you should notice is that this candle high to low is around 70 points. So if you wanted to take a risk on this, it is up to you to decide whether you wanted to go for it or not. Clear? But this is a proper extreme reversal setup which has been formed. Now let me go further, and this again, this setup is called as the low higher value relationship, overlapping higher value relationship, and this is a good volatility candle, and this is around 150-270 points. This candle high to low is there. So whenever you see any candle, first candle which is moving on an index, more than 1% of the value, then it is better to avoid, because 220 points is going to be the 1%. But if this candle has actually moved 270 points, so it is better to avoid that particular date, because the expected movement of the day can be completely range bound. Clear? And the next trade is called as the overlapping lower value relationship. So any pullback towards the H3 can be a selling opportunity, but the candle actually opened and closed above the H3. So expected move is that any pullback or like any consolidation above the H3 can be a movement towards H4, or you need to wait for any proper close above the H4. Now coming back to 28, till now we have seen some good trades, good moves, and we have avoided certain dates, and till now we have not faced a complete loss scenario. But what I would personally say you is that watch the trades whichever happened on March. You would have got a different ideology of taking a trade using Camarilla or using CPR. Accordingly, check the trade and see and let me know what you would have done on respective dates, and whether you would have gone for an entry or not, and whether you have gone for stop loss or gone for profit. Let me know in the mail or in the comment section so that we can detailedly explain that as well. So this is the March 20th, which is going to be the last day of the March month, and after that we will be entering into April. But till now I think the video has gone more than 20-30 minutes. I think so, I'm not exactly sure. So after this March 28th review, I will stop this video right away and I will upload this Camarilla view for or Camarilla analysis on March month and its performance. So I will upload this video, and also next video I'll try to cover on the CPR and Camarilla, both double pivot zone, everything in a single video, so that you guys can also make use of it. And also if you guys wanted to know about if I maintain a spreadsheet and mention all those details, it will be helpful for you, or just I go through all the charts is enough for you. Please let me know in the comment section so that we can make use of that as well. Now if you go to the March 20th of the video, if you see, it is an overlapping higher value relationship. So the expected move is that any reversal at the H3 can be a rejection towards the L3, and any support at L3 can be a movement towards H3, and if there is a close above the H4, that can be a good opportunity to go long. And also if you see over here, this particular candle has actually closed above H3, closed above the previous day high, and actually close at the H4. So this is also called as the double pivot zone, which is convincingly closed by this candle. And if you see, this candle's high to low is around 60 points, so it is better to avoid, because we prefer entering at around 40 to 45 points or almost 50 points, not more than that. But again, it has actually gave a clean move. Any pullback towards H4 or H3 can be a buying opportunity, but it actually traveled a lot. and after that gave a good fall, but again it went upside only. So not an issue. April month, whatever the analysis from April 1 to April 30 will be done on next week. I actually plan to do April month view also. Then I actually thought in the middle of the video is that, okay, let me complete only March specific over here and April specific on the after the April week is done. So that will be able to help you or tell you whether the CPR or the Camarilla is working fine or not. So in this video, I covered only about the Camarilla. I have explained more about the inside Camarilla. I have explained about how to use Camarilla as well as the price action basis. So it is up to you guys to follow whichever strategy you feel like. But what I would say to you is that go with proper risk reward ratio. If there is a risk of about 60 points and you don't want to take risk, if there is a risk of about 20 points, you can try to take a risk and see whether how much you are going to get. Because only one trade in this month, where we could see there is one particular trade which is of around 16 points as risk, but you have got 150 points as the reward. So if this type of trade, if you are getting in a particular day, that will be the better opportunity to go for any long or any short. Clear? So make use of such an opportunity and see whether anything is suiting out for you or not. And also please make a note, before taking an entry, just check the chart, what has happened on 2 to 3 days in the past, so that you will come to know whether the particular day can trend or not. So say for example, in this particular day also, the market has actually trended from 22,183 to 22,528, which is almost like 350 points the market has moved. And if you see the past days, what has actually happened in the past 2 to 3 days, the previous day was a consolidation day. And before to that previous day also was a consolidation day. Yes, though the first candle moved for 270 points, but the entire day remained consolidated. And if you see this particular day, though it has moved, but 2 days of consolidation was inside this particular day. And after that, this is also a consolidation day. So if you see 2 to 3 days of consolidation and an inside bar looks like a setup has been formed. And once after the breakout has happened, it has clearly given a good move on the one single side direction. So you need to decide how you are going to take a trade. Just to following Camarilla or any indicators, it will not going to help. Please use price action along with Camarilla and see how it has performed. Clear? So this is what I wanted to cover in this video. I hope I have explained a lot of things in this video. If you feel the content is good, kindly give a like, share and subscribe. Please let me know in the comment section if you feel any other content needs to be shared in the channel, so that I will be ready to help you out on all this. Clear? So that's it from me, and thanks a lot. Stay tuned for more videos.